Welcome to another day of Dose of Did You Know? And unfortunately, our guest is having some technical issues and cannot make it. But hey, life goes on. The dose doesn't stop. So it's just going to turn into the dose of Did You Know? No, it's not going to turn into the dose of Did You Know? It's going to turn into the daily dose of Danny. I don't even get my doses right. It might be that kind of day all over, at least in this household. I think it's happening. But I wrote this down because my friend, Andrew, he writes these, I don't even know what they are, but he gets them, these daily, I want to call them devotionals. And then he writes on them and he shares them. So I shared them in the Road to a Soldier group, but a part of what it was about today hit home. It was, hey, wrestle, baby. But it hit home. And this is what it's from. It's a quote from Aristotle. It says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit." And isn't that, I got to turn this off. Isn't that the flippin' truth? I have been so on about living proactively, right? Live free and live proactive. Your freedom doesn't come from sitting back, being complacent, and taking it. Never has. Never has. We have just always watched other people do it. Majority of us sit from like behind a TV screen or not even having a connection. There's a small few that are related to people in the military in some form or another, so they get it full on. But the point is, they're living proactively so you can have the freedoms that you're having, right? They are habits. They're habits that are created, mindsets that are created. So when we wait till everything falls apart in our life or around us, or in the laws that are being thrown at us through fear, it creates tyranny. And why did we leave? History repeats itself. Why did we leave and why was America born? Way, way back. Again, majority of us, all of us actually weren't alive. Majority of us haven't lived through something like that. You know, there are people that flee tyranny to be here. That's what I mean by that. Obviously, not that we were alive when the Constitution was signed. Not that blonde. But it got me thinking, and I think it should get all of us thinking. And I was going back and forth, well, not really back and forth, but I was putting my 2 cents in a thread of mine because I will stand up for our freedoms. It's the least we can do. Once you know, how dare you sit back and let someone else fight for you? So fighting isn't negative. It's not violent, but it's saying like, hey, you're not going to go and speak all of these things through the back door because you can, and I'm going to sit back and not say anything. Because if you do, you're going to be the first ones crying and screaming and throwing a fit that you didn't see it coming. But you did see it coming. You just chose to keep blinders on. Now, there's different levels of all of this. I'm not saying be immature. I'm not saying be immoral. But you can't just lay down and take it. You can't just close a blind eye and say you don't know what's going on, because everybody in this world knows what's going on. Now, people might get pissed at me because they are fearful. They think they know. And I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't. But I do know tyranny, the beginning of tyranny, when I see it. I do remember history. I'm not going to watch it repeat itself. It goes back to biblical times. Read the Bible. Read Greek mythology. And you will start to see how it is a little similar to what is exactly happening now. Just because there's a pandemic does not mean your freedom is ripped away. Sorry, doesn't work that way, because guess what? There are going to be people that are immature and that are asses, no matter how many laws are out there. Okay, just like my son can't work right now. Why? Because they're idiots. Because he goes into a home, he installs like cable and connections and internet and things like that in big buildings and in homes and stuff like that. So he would go into homes, selfish people's homes, and then guess what? After they got what they needed complete, they'd be like, oh yeah, we're in quarantine because we have the virus. You couldn't have said that beforehand? No, they couldn't, because they were selfish human beings. They will always be selfish human beings. For 24 years, I ran a gymnastics schools, and every single day for 24 years, there were some parents that would send their kids to gymnastics sick. We would have to call them and send their child home. They're selfish. They wanted to get rid of them for an hour. I don't know why. I'm making that part up, but I can't imagine sending a child somewhere sick for an extracurricular activity. So don't give me the excuse you had to work, which is an excuse, because I was a single mom for a long time and I didn't send my kid to school sick. I found a way. There will always be selfish people that make things like these pandemics, these different issues that are going on worse than they need to be. Creating more laws and taking away my freedom and the freedom that those fought for and died for because of idiots, selfish idiots, and I will call them selfish idiots because that is being selfish. That is an act of immaturity. You're smarter than that. I don't think so. So that is my two hot cents about this. So when you see me standing up, it is not because I don't even know what you might think it's because of. I'm just telling you, I guess, what it is. I will not sit back and let your freedom and my freedom be taken away. Because just as I believe guns don't kill people, people kill people. Because if guns killed people, there was this cool little thing I think I posted saying that guns killed people. How does anybody make it out alive at a gun show? Kind of silly when you put it that way, right? And again, why the cities with the highest gun control have the highest death by gun. Because there are bad people, immature, selfish people, no matter what. And laws will never change that. What it'll do is take law-abiding citizens and rip away their freedom. And they're the ones that are going to obey it, not the selfish people. So that same mentality goes now. I will stand up for our Constitution no matter what. I will, if it came down to one of those like civil wars, I'll be the one on the Constitution side, not on the side of the people with more money, not on the side with the people that have power, not on the side of people that are manipulating for their own agenda. And you maybe agree with me, yeah, maybe not. I am not here to cause a fight, so please, if you have hate, keep it to yourself. But if you want to have a conversation and put nicely your point of view out there, I will listen. But I will not go back and forth because there's no point to that. I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind. But I do like to hear other opinions. So in a very nice way, you may share it with me. But if you're going to be a dick, keep it to yourself. And I will see you on the other side. And boom.